carry 3 of them in my Traptrix deck. If I would guess, Gabby is probably watching Soul Eater right now, because she said, for some reason, I'm fine with, probably it might have been caused a little bit by my Ghost Trick deck, she decided to start watching Soul Eater, or maybe her mom took away her phone, who knows on what, it's not my business. Onward is a very commonly used card, good old Trap Hole. This is actually an ultimate edition of it. Someone actually colored in, but the card still works fine, it's legal to use in tournaments. Get colored in, Ultimate Edition. How this card works, if nobody knows yet, is when your opponent normal summons or flip summons a monster with an attack of 1,000 points or more, destroy that monster. Works really well with Traptrix because I can take it straight from my hand. Really nice. Good old Trap Hole. And next is a card that is limited to 1, I believe. I'd have to check to be sure. Good old Dimensional Prism. Tell me you were pretty. She's so pretty. She's a pretty girl. She's like the pretty back of this card, or all of my pretty Ghost Trick monsters, or pretty Traptrix monsters. Anyways, Dimensional Prison, how it works is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target that attacking monster and banish that target, or remove from play. Really nice card, really handy. Pain in the ass for all your opponents and yourself if it's being used on you. Happens. Anybody new to the room, welcome. Please enjoy. Feel free to give a follow if you so choose. Feel free to comment in the chat. I'm still paying attention, even if I am doing a deck profile and I'm trying to be a little more professional. It all happens. I can't believe I just did that with my hand. That was creepy. Hey, it's a compliment. If you don't think these Traptrix monsters are sexy, what is wrong with you? I'm sexy! I'm sexy! Oh dear God. Next, I have two more trap cards, very important cards. Start up with the first one, which was actually really hard to find, surprisingly, called Vanity's Emptiness. Really interesting card. Very much pain in the ass. It's a continuous trap card. Neither player can special summon monsters. If a card is sent from the deck or the field to the graveyard, destroy this card. Happens. Really important card for this deck because controlling the field and stopping special summons can be good and bad. Digimon Season 3, good choice. One of my more favorite seasons, besides parts of Season 1. And Digimon Frontier or Season 4, I actually didn't mind too much. Not a bad season. Season 2 is pretty damn good in my opinion as well, because Davis, as annoying as he is, pretty good character, and Flamedramon is probably my favorite Digimon. I think you told me you benched somewhere around 300? 400? I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. It's not my job to memorize exactly how much you bench or what. But lastly, the last trap of my Traptrix deck is a card that is kind of a break off of a card that was banished or forbidden, which was Solemn something something. Can't remember because nobody should use it, especially in tournaments, and that's usually how I play is in tournaments. But this card, which is allowed, it's limited to 1, which is Solemn Warning. Very, very cool looking card. This is a shiny version, or ultimate version, rare, limited edition, I guess you'd call it. How the effect of Solemn Warning works is when a monster or monsters will be summoned, or a spell card or trap card or a monster effect is activated, that includes the effect that special summons a monster, pay 2,000 life points and negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Nice. But yeah, very important card for a lot of decks. Pretty normal staple card. Very important. Very much pain in the ass, especially when you're bringing out your best monsters for decks that are based around attacking and being extremely aggressive. Luckily, the good thing about both these decks isn't about being aggressive. It's about controlling your opponent and pissing them the hell off. So yes, that is the end of the traps, spells, and normal monsters in my normal deck, regular deck. We will now move into the extra deck of my Traptrix. I'm going to go ahead and organize these just so I don't have to do what I had to do last time with my Ghost Tricks. Organize these and just pick them up and get them out of the way. Just shuffle a little, why not? And let's get into the extra deck of my Traptrix. Here is actually a card I actually picked up today, a limited edition version of a card called my Yixi deck called number 82 Heartland Draco. Great card. It's an Earth type monster. You need 2 level 4 monsters. Luckily, most of the monsters in my deck, Traptrix deck, are level 4s. So here is number 82, Heartland Draco. Let me get a good look at him. Kind of a cute monster. Pretty powerful. Let me go ahead and read the effects of Heartland. Heartland Draco. While you control a face-up spell card, this card cannot be targeted for attacks. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. This turn, this card can attack your opponent directly, but other monsters cannot. So it's pretty handy, especially for attacking your opponent directly. It comes in a lot of handy, and it's also a great beater card because it's got 2000 attack. So you can hold out against your opponent if he's trying to attack you, and as long as he's not bringing out those crazy powerful monsters, which Traptrix should stop from being summoned, you can do some decent amount of damage with it. Oh, come on now, guys. And next is a very basic Yixi monster from the extra deck called Gymnite Pearl. Weird-ass name for a monster. It's got 2,600, I believe, attack and 1,900 defense. No special effect for it. Needs 2 level 4 monsters to be Yixi summoned from the extra deck. Next is a card I also picked up a couple of days ago called Diamond Direwolf. Kind of a pretty cool looking card. The effect of Diamond Direwolf is you need 2 level 4 monsters to be summoned out. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, and then target 1 beast or beast warrior or winged beast monster you control. The other card and 1 other card on the field, and destroy them. So in other words, the actually crazy thing about this is you can target 2 cards. You can target 2 of your opponent's card, beast or warrior or beast. Let's see, 2 of your opponent's beast, beast warrior or winged beast type monsters. Pretty handy, especially since it's got 2,000 attack, 1,200 defense. Not a bad card, especially for beaters and keeping yourself alive. Next is Gaga Cowboy. Pretty good staple card in the extra deck. So let's go ahead and read the effects. It's actually based better on its defense. It's got 2,400 defense, so you can hold it in defensive position and keep yourself pretty well protected while you're dealing damage. Let's see here. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card and apply these effects depending on the card's battle position. Oh, so shiny. Attack position. If this card attacks an opponent's monster this turn, it gains 1,000 attack and your opponent's monster loses 500 attack during the damage step only. And if it's in defensive position, inflict 800 points of damage to your opponent. Not a bad card at all. Pretty handy. Gaga Cowboy. I don't care how lame that was. Next is number 44, Sky Pegasus. Not a great beater card, but it's got some very crazy effects that come in handy. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, and then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy it, unless your opponent pays 1,000 life points to negate this effect. You mean watch cartoon online, I think? I'm guessing is what it should be. But yeah, that would be number 44, Sky Pegasus. Not a bad card. Which one? Are we talking about Gaga Cowboy, or are we talking about Sky Pegasus? Just remember, everything's a little bit delayed. And then we got Steel Swarm Roach. Another great staple card a lot of people use in their extra deck. Great card. Its effects are, during either player's turn, when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, negate the special summon, and if you do, destroy it. Pretty great. Steel Swarm Roach. Yeah, Gaga Cowboy is a pretty great card. Next is one of my more favorite cards in most of my extra deck, Ingishi Merogeist. Really hard name to say. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's a pretty handy card. It's got 2,100 attack and 1,600 defense. After damage calculation, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach one X, Y, Z material from this card, shuffle the destroyed monster into the deck, and send it to the graveyard, which can be really handy, especially if you're playing against an opponent whose monsters are based on being destroyed. So, really nice. So you're sending it to the deck, or extra deck, I guess. I guess, from what I know. Do you want to chit-chat? Next is Fairy King Albervardici, or Deech, Albervardici. 2,300 attack and 1,400 defense. Pretty great card. He's a plant type monster, which is pretty handy, especially with some of my other working cards. The effects of Fairy King Albervardici Deech is once per turn you can detach one XYZ material from this card. All non-Earth type monsters currently on the field lose 500 attack and defense. So it's pretty handy, especially if you're going against a dark deck like I think Insectoid or Evil Swarm or Shaddoll. Really handy. Want the rest, yo? Yeah, Fairy King. Next we got number 39 Utopias. Very standard card. A lot of people use in their extra deck. Pretty great card. Its effects are pretty standard. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can, well, actually, when any player's monster declares an attack, such as Utopia, if Utopia attacks, I can detach one XYZ material from this card and negate that attack. So if I'm going to attack and somebody brings up a trap card such as Mirror Force, I can cancel my attack, and Mirror Force is just there and shown. I'm like, oh, great, you got a Mirror Force, good for you. Or depending on the rules that you're going by, Mirror Force can be sent straight to the graveyard, and its effect never went, because I never attacked. My attack was negated. When this card is targeted for an attack, is the downside to Utopia. When it has no XYZ material, it is immediately destroyed. So yeah, it's an attack of 2,500 and defense of 2,000. Not bad at all. Carry two of these in my extra deck. It's also a very easy card to find. Lastly, we got Photon Palaportive. Not a bad card. Once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card and target one defensive position monster on the field. Change it to face-up attack position, and if you do, it loses 600 attack. So in other words, you can set that little bastard up to be destroyed, because this card has 1,200 attack and 1,800 defense. Not bad. I just saw a cat bite. Meow. And lastly, for my extra deck of my Traptrix, yes, I know it's been long, so on and so forth, is Night Palaportive. A card that I probably don't use too much, but it's more of a backup card just in case, is I need three level 4 monsters. I couldn't count for a second there on my hand, shut up. But anyways, once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card. This card gains 300 attack for each XYZ material monster attached to a monster on the field. So if I have more XYZ monsters, each of those materials are being counted, including the materials of Night Palaportive and my opponent's XYZ monsters. Pretty handy. So this monster can get extremely powerful if you set it up right. But anyways, guys, that is the end of my extra deck, my Traptrix, and the end of my Traptrix deck profile. Thank you so much for watching my second deck profile. My first, which I will separate them out, was my Ghost Trick deck profile, my Traptrix deck profile. I will separate them out in my highlights videos and my videos for YouTube. So if you want to watch them separately. I know there's going to be some points where I'm going to have to do some editing. That all depends on how everything goes. But yeah, I think now I'm probably going to decide to play. I should play a game. I'm not exactly sure what yet. I guess I'm going to keep it live, and while I decide, preferably what game we're going to play. Let me go ahead and put away my Traptrix while I have the chance, just so it's out of the way, and I don't have to worry about losing any of the cards.